the final match I will be casting of DreamHack Open Moscow 2014. Thank you everyone for watching so far. I hope you've enjoyed the cast, and I hope you enjoy many in the future. All right. Oh, here we go. In the top left-hand corner of King Sejong's station, he is the Russian Terran from Team Empire. He is Happy. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, looking solid in the first game, but falling in the second one, a little bit indecisive. Can he pull it together? It's going to be from Team Vega Squadron. It's going to be Fraer. So last game, it kind of came down to, once again, Fraer went for an early push that relied entirely on execution, but Happy did not underreact like he did in game number 1. He was prepared, he held the line, and then he hit a very, very solid timing, and Fraer did not seem comfortable with transitioning out of the push. Of course, it was designed to kill him. He wanted to kill Happy, but he didn't. And then from there, it was pretty much Happy's game to lose, and he executed beautifully. But what do we see this game? In game number 1, it was a proxy Stargate Oracle and a Void Ray, and that worked out. Happy wasn't able to defend. Game number 2, the Colossus push gets driven back. Happy hits a timing, it's over. But what do we see? Happy's been doing something similar in each game. He's looking towards that straight-up Terran macro game. But Fraer, on the other hand, has done 2 different builds so far. Does he try something different? Happy continually has been doing this, an SCV scout early on, because he knows Fraer is probably a little bit less than a standard player, especially after the games we played so far, so he wants to make sure he has all the information to start out. And what will he see is the question. Will he see 2 gases? There are 2 gases. He only got 2 in one gas, and we'll probably see 2 in the other. So that means we're probably going to be seeing a gated span here, as opposed to a proxy Stargate or anything like that. What in the heck? Accidentally opened up my own stream. Not a smart move. But anyways, it looks like going down to take the night. He's not even making... This is pretty key here. He's opening himself up to engineering bay blocks for no real reason, because he's not producing a Zealot out of the gateway. If he doesn't produce a Zealot out of the gateway, you don't have to finish the Zealot, but if you don't produce the Zealot, this is exactly what can happen right here. This gets a little bit annoying. Of course, it's not that big of a deal. But what happens is you start producing the Zealot, and then if they don't decide to engineering bay block you, you cancel it at the last second. But it looks like the Reaper's going to be coming up. Will he be able to cancel this engineering bay? He's a few hits away, but the Reaper, once again, going to be able to get a kill or 2. And he's going to get the SCV, but... Is this worth it, though? If he can get 2 probe kills this time around, that'd be really nice. Oh, trying to bait out the hits here. A lot of little micro tricks going around, but... Okay. The extra barracks coming up. And Happy, once again, going for the 3 Rex plays. He pulled out a gas for a while in order to make sure he maximizes mineral count, get those barracks up as soon as possible in order to be able to do a little bit of an early pressure. And we shall see over here what else there is. I'm expecting big things from this game, though. Right now, I think Fraer's kind of figured out his mistakes. He can bring it back. Well, Happy, on the other hand, he can play a solid game. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. I doubt it's going to be as... I wouldn't say one-sided, because the beginning of the game, last game, actually looked to be in Fraer's favor, but Happy held strong. I'm expecting this game to be the most even game of the 3. Players starting to figure each other out. It's unlikely you can pull off too much in the way of cheese, and it looks like actually an SCV that he didn't make a bunker, so his penance will be losing an SCV, and now the workers killed count going to even up. Well, actually he killed 2 SCVs on this. Wait. Yeah. Oh, the first SCV that was building the engineering bay. That was it. Okay. So, the Reaper swinging back around, looking for the proxy pylons as well. It's actually going to be able to intercept the Stalker. Will it be able to kill the Stalker? That's an important question. No shields here. He whiffed a couple shots on the Stalker, and the Reaper going to be able to get revenge for the SCV right now. And actually, this is going to help out this early push. There's no Stalker to delay it. There's one back at home, but the Stalker's supposed to be out on the map in order to take little chunks out of the Marines, so this push doesn't have nearly as much strength. He doesn't want to use a photon overcharge this early in the game. And oh, interestingly enough, well, there's an observer out, but an Immortal is being added on. But that's not that much commitment. There's no Marauders here. He doesn't require Immortals. He does not... Ooh. He does not want to have to use a Photon Overcharge here. If he has to use a Photon Overcharge, then he's going to find himself lacking. So, does he use it? The Stalker and the Sentry are just barely zoning out enough, but there's a Reaper with this as well. That's a lot of extra damage output, and I think he has to pop it. There's the Photon Overcharge. It will drive Happy back, but it's something that Fraer did not want to do at all. And actually, there's no Robobay in production right now. Never mind. He adds on the Robobay, but not before making the Immortal. Last time we saw the Robobay a lot quicker, so I wouldn't be surprised this game to see a Forge, maybe even a quicker Twilight Council to just go for a Blink Colossus composition a lot more stable, go for a third base. He's getting a second Immortal. I don't know if it was a mistake delaying the Robobay. Oh, no it was not, because now he has that third base up, and if he can actually pull one over on Happy and get this third base up and running and have Colossus to defend it, he's going to find himself in a good position. And Happy doesn't have the quickest medevacs ever. They're not going to be out until about the 10:30 mark or so. Maybe a little bit earlier than that, about 10 minutes, but they won't be threatening until around 10:30, which the Colossus will easily be out in time, and he's going to be forced to start producing Vikings, which is really important. But yeah, the Robobay is confirmed here. Happy is not going to be able to get us out of this third base yet, and this is going to be the key to the game right now. The Colossus is in production, so is the Starport. But the Starport, if you don't have your Starport finished by the time by the time the second Colossus starts, that means you're going to be on the back foot. You're going to need a second Starport, and that's your only choice to defend against Colossus, or at least attack into Colossus. Either or. Just if they have Colossus, you make Vikings, and he's not going to have that many Vikings. But some more gates being added, and this push is very strong. He's got Stim, and he has +1 as well. This Colossus needs to finish, and I think if he sees the third base, he kills it. There's no way to defend that third base, I don't think. Even with a Colossus, it doesn't have range. There's not enough force fields. There's only 5 or 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be up. Yeah. But Happy moves out. He knows an observer has probably seen this. Is this going to go around to the third? He's going to see the third, but it's too late to do this push. The first Colossus is out. The second Colossus is well on its way, and right now the Double Forge has already started kicking in. He hasn't added that +1 armor on, but that's probably his next priority. There it is. But at this point, Happy is a little bit behind. He doesn't know it yet is the problem. Well, now he does. As soon as he scouts the third base, he knows. What is he going to do? Does he take a third? Does he just try to play it out? He's already up to 5 barracks, so he's very committed to this. He has to start... Oh, okay. Okay, he's just going to try to man up. Oh, he doesn't know the Colossus count is so high. He saw the Robobay, but he's adding on more medevacs. If you add on medevacs after the first 2 medevacs, this is commitment. You have to go, you have to get damage done, and you have to do it before he has more than 3 Colossus. If he gets 3 Colossi out, you are not breaking through, especially once he starts getting upgrades. But this Colossus is a little bit out of position, but the Stalker going to scout the army. The Colossus will probably move down. He wants to be in position to split his army against drops. Right now, medevacs are the real threat, and he knows it. He needs Colossi to defend them. He doesn't have +1 yet, while +1's going to be done for Happy in just a few seconds. And now we see he's going to try to pull them apart right here. But how does he defend? There's 200 energy. There's no attacking into this Colossus. There are 2 Immortals underneath. They will bash through this army. If he goes for the Colossus, he will fail. Going for the drop in the net, but there's 2 Colossi here to defend. Happy doing his best to try to get damage done, but it looks like Fraer has an impeccable defense on either side, and there will be no damage done here by Happy. The belated Photon Overcharge coming out. He's going to try to maybe hit the Colossi as they come across, but Happy right now starting to bank up a lot of money. He needs to be doing more than this. He's trying to come in towards the third as well, but he might just be killing himself. He gets the Robo. Okay, there, finally something is done, but at the same time, he lost a medevac for it, and there's already 3 Colossus out. But getting the Robo is really important. The thing is, 2-2 is already on the way. He already has 3 Colossi, and Happy finds himself down 20 supply against 3 Colossi and someone who's going for charge lots in 2-2. If 2-2 finishes, I think, honestly, at this point, Happy's only choice is to pull the boys. Doesn't matter how many Vikings you already have. You cannot waste time here. Did he see the double forge? He saw 1 forge, but he didn't see the double forge, and right now, Happy's time is quickly running out. He's adding a second starport and a third CC. Oh, Happy. If he lives through, he has to get something done here. The triple medevac drop is coming in. He has to find an angle to get damage done, and it has to be now, because Fraer is getting too big to fail. He has 3 Colossi. He's making another Robo. He doesn't even need more Colossi. He just needs more Charge Lots. Archons can already be a threat. The drop in the main, the army is just barely out of position. There's no Photon Overcharge here, and he's moving in towards the third base. Happy's drawing him out of position right now. If he can get the third, he can get damage done in the main, that'd be absolutely huge. Fraer moving all the way back. He's ignoring the triple drop in the main. The Nexus will stand, and this army will be cleaned up. But what about the main here? He doesn't have a recall. He's going to go for the upgrades, and Happy is actually getting a lot more damage done than I ever expected right now. Happy's able to pull him out of position, and Fraer falling a little bit to the select all army hockey probably here, where he brought his army down. There are no Photon Overcharges to defend, and it looks like the main Nexus right now is going to be the next target. He got the 2-2. He bought himself a lot more time, and he can pick up and go towards the third, but I don't think he wants to go that direction. He has to go. No! Oh! No! Okay. He got the Nexus. He got the Nexus. And Happy has been able to... He's bought himself a lot of time here. He hasn't gotten ahead, but he has definitely evened the score a little bit. He's going to get a lot of the Widow Mines out. There's not that many observers. He's killed a lot of probes, and now he's going to kill a lot more. He's just evened up the probe count right here. All he needs to do is make sure he has enough army at home, and he barely picks up those last units. And right now, I think Happy has done a great job of scraping his way back into this game. Picking up the Robo and then picking up the Forge and the Nexus was absolutely key. And at this point, there's Storm on the way. Is there a Ghost Academy? It is just now starting. The Templar are already out. We're looking at 2 High Templar, 2 Archons, 3 Colossi, but those 2-2 upgrades were delayed, and now Happy is the one who has 1-1, and he's going to have +2 before Fraer right now. It's 134 to 134 supply. Happy has an even worker count, and somehow he finds himself back in a very solid position in this game. I'm not going to say he's ahead, but I'm definitely going to say he has the potential to be with the next fight. It depends on what happens in the next 3 or 4 minutes. Who attacks, who defends, and where and what with that is done. Alright. A few charge lots coming in, but they only have the 1-1. They're not too much of a threat. He's sitting back at home, ready to defend the drops, except the only place he's not ready to defend is that main base. I'd love to see Happy scan. He scans. What is it? Where does he scan? Oh, he scans the main to see it's free for drops. I guess that's a safe bet. I thought he was going to try to scan the army there. And just kill a few more zealots here. If he can kill the forges again, that would be massive. He's going for the Nexus. Can he actually get it? The Colossi are coming up. I don't think he's going to be able to pull it off this time. He's targeting down the probes. And it looks like actually the medevacs were taken out, which is a pretty big deal. But Happy getting, I'd say, his money's worth out of that drop. He pulled the army back. He bought himself more time. His 2-2 is actually coming up before his opponents. Even with Chrono Boost, it's not going to be able to catch up. And Fraer's just going to go for a 4th base here. Alright, another, well, I thought he's going to have another drop in, but Happy has cleared out the pylons on his side of the map. Those are a massive annoyance. There's still only 3 Colossi out. They do have their fully extended thermal lances. I'd love to see a Warp Prism here from Fraer very soon, because Happy is actually getting to a point where he could potentially attack. He's going to have all the pieces put together to solve the Protoss puzzle. And those are Vikings, those are Ghosts, those are enough medevacs to keep the army alive, and he agrees as well. He wants to hit this 2-2 timing. He knows he delayed the upgrades, and he needs to move forward and get the damage done. Can Happy end the game here? We saw last game Fraer had his Templar clumped up. He got them all hit by EMP, and that was that. 2-2 is still about a minute out, a little bit less than a minute. If he hit this 4th base before 2-2 is done and force an engagement, that would be huge. A charge lot, counterattack, coming in the right-hand side, but it all comes down to control now. The upgrades are going to even out. He's not going to force an engagement. I think Happy might just want to take a 4th base. He already has the command center finished. He can make a planetary up here and put himself in a position to continually remax. And honestly, I don't see Happy wanting to take a fight until he's maxed out, but it is still 4 bases of Protoss to 3 bases of Terran, at least for the time being. Oh, stimming forward, he scans, he sees absolutely everything he needs to see in this army. Cloak is not done yet. He can't cloak these ghosts, but so many Vikings here. Where are the units? Where is units, actually? There's not enough units on the ground. There's a big storm coming up, Category 4 on these units right now, and the 4th base is going to fall. The EMP is hitting home on the Templar. Ooh, good feedbacks there, actually taking out a few more of the ghosts. And he still has a couple storms in reserve. Happy moving forward. It's 93 to 90 supply. The charge lot's forcing a pullback on the 4th base. And it's going to be a 4th base for some SCVs here. Is going to be the final tally. He still maintained the Colossi. The Vikings didn't want to step forward. And right now, Happy doesn't have a big enough ground army to engage right now. If he doesn't remove literally every Storm and Colossus before the fight starts, he will lose it. So, he's going to get some more of the charge lots, but Fraer has been knocked back to 3 bases, and Happy, he finds himself at 4. So right now, Happy is damn happy with his situation. He knows he's ahead. He has his 3-3 on the way, a planetary coming up, another command center just for extra money, mules, scans in the bank, because he wants to have this as a planetary over here. The Vikings should be repaired so they don't get softened up too much, and Fraer is just looking for that one big Protoss engagement, but I don't know if Happy is going to let him get it. At this point, we see some more Templar being warped in. We're still 1 engagement away. Either way, yeah, the Vikings are going to be mostly repaired. Happy is almost maxed out. He's at 111 to 105 army supply. Fraer is actually very low in the probe count, but he's still able to get the 3-3. A warp prism on the way out. When does Happy choose to attack, and how does he do it? Does he split his army into 2 clumps? Maybe he sends 2 or 3 medevacs worth of units towards the right side and hits the left with the rest? Or does he just go for the main fight? And it looks like the main fight is what he's spoiling for right now. A lot of idle probes. Let's see where that scan is. He scans, and he sees the army is not in this position. He does not want to be flanked right now. He has control of the watchtower. He knows where all the army is. He saw with the Marine on the right side that there's no army over there either, so it's time to fight. And Fraer going to be stepping up into position. There's a lot of Vikings here, 13 Vikings to deal with this, but huge storm on the Vikings, bringing them all into beautiful autumn colors. But the Cloak Ghost going to be able to snipe off a lot of the Templar. He's trying to storm the Cloak Ghost. There's 1 observer here, but the Vikings have already been softened up, and this is 5 Colossi. Happy might be overextending a little bit here. There's still 1 storm for the Vikings. He's not using it, and the final Templar gets sniped. And the 4th base still going to fall, though. Fraer did not want to engage in that army, even after bringing the Vikings down so low. There's a nuclear missile in production, and Happy, he's starting to grind his way forward. He's got a 5th base on the way, and Fraer is still stuck on 3. How many Templar are on the field? A grand total of 5 against 7 Ghosts. And at this point, he got the 4th base, and that's what matters. He keeps Fraer down on production. He can't continually remax on charge lots. He's down to 55 probes, but that means if Fraer does max out, he is going to be on such an intensely high army supply that he could potentially just take a game-winning fight and roll over Happy. If Happy is out of position, if he loses either his Ghosts or his Vikings without being effective, then the game could be lost right there. He needs to repair these Vikings. A lot of them are 1 storm away from going down. The Archons will finish them up very easily. If these Vikings are not repaired, those are a liability, but he already brought a few SCVs off the line to do exactly as he needs to. But the Colossi count is up at 5. Right now, the army supplies are 127 for Protoss and 115 for Terran. It all comes down to the engagement. Happy doesn't need to win in the engagement, but he needs to do well enough that he can remax his army and take the 2nd fight. He needs to be able to win the 2nd fight. The 1st fight, he can lose, but he can't lose too much. Fraer, on the other hand, he can't lose a fight. If he loses a fight in any meaningful way, Happy will have the momentum to finish the game. At this point, there's a warp drop. There's a warp prism drop in the main base. Happy is distracted for a few more seconds. He may be on 5 bases, but his main base is still vulnerable. The Cloak Ghost helping out a lot. He should be able to clean this up with relative ease, but at 57 probes, Fraer still has that ridiculously strong army. The Stalkers look like they're just going to go down here for no real cost, and I think Happy is spoiling for a fight. He's got that army he wants. It's 113 to 111 to 119 army supply. The Stalkers were given up for free, and that's a pretty cheap price to pay for a few Stalkers here, especially when your opponent... Oh no! There's no turrets. DT's coming in. Does Happy pull back? Does he pull back? There's still a decent rally point of units that can deal with this. But Happy, no! He's moving his army back across the map. This means Fraer can get a good position. This means Fraer can get his 4th base up, he can get his gas mining again, he can continue to start to pull Happy apart. This is how Terran players can crumble. If Fraer is able to pull Happy in enough different directions that he forces one game-deciding fight in a bad position, that's game over. That's game over. And Fraer's doing it right now. Happy needs turrets, he needs bunkers, and he's getting them. He knows what he needs. He cannot let that happen again. One more warp in could change this entire game, because Fraer's maxed out right now, and he can take a fight. He got his shield upgrade started. There's so many ghosts out on the field. 16 ghosts and 17 19 Vikings. He has more Ghosts and Vikings than Marines and Marauders right now. That should tell you what he's focusing on. A nuclear missile is being casted on the 4th base. The EMP is landing home. We'll get a few Templar for the cost. Almost cost him nothing for it. And the nuke is about to land. The Stalkers are going to be right in the middle of it right now, and the cannons are going to fall as well. A second nuke going on the 4th base. This is the only 4th that Happy has right now, and he can't defend it. He has to walk into a nuke. That is not something you can do. I don't care what race you are. And the nuke is going to land the killing blow. Ghosts are getting a kill steal on the Nexus right now with nuclear missiles, and Fraer is forced back. He's down to 59 probes, 168 supply and 3 bases. He can't remake this army right now. Happy moving forward, knowing just how to pick apart a Protoss. And he's doing it. Is there another nuke in the production tab? 2 more nukes are on the way. 2 more nukes are on the way. Oh, how many High Templar? 12 High Templar, more were warped in, but there are still 16 Ghosts. He didn't lose a single Ghost in that last fight. And look at Happy's bank! He could send every single person in this stream's kids to college right now, and he'd still have money to do so. The Vikings going to work on top of everything. The Templar aren't here. The Colossi will fall before the fight even starts. Happy moving forward. There's no observers for... Oh, wait, there's an observer right there for the Cloak Ghost. But the fight has already been taken, and I think the fight has already been won. Happy's nukes carved a path for his army to step towards victory. The 4th base is going to fall. The Vikings are on the ground, but it doesn't even matter. They will be lifted back into the air just like Happy's hopes to get to the round of 8, to get to the round of 4, and potentially win this tournament. And Happy right now has broken the Protoss back. He's stepping forward. There's no Colossi left standing. There's a few Storms, but the umbrella of Happy is far too strong. And right now, Happy has finally forced that game-deciding engagement. Like I said, it's not about winning with that fight, but just taking enough fights that eventually the Protoss can no longer remax. He can't put together an army. Fraer desperately going to try to remake this 4th base, but it's not going to be nearly enough. Happy is going to take the 2-1 victory, bringing it back from game number 1, 2 games in a row, and Happy is going to be moving on to the round of 8. Congratulations to him. That will make our only Russian player in DreamHack Moscow Open 2014 round of 8. Congratulations to Empire Happy.